Afternoon all. I was just trying to flick switches then and it wasn't working. How are you all doing? All good? Afternoon, Diamond. I've got DAX running at the moment. I'm just going to switch over to, what should I trade this afternoon? NASDAQ. So ended up on a pretty good morning actually in the end. Was down quite a bit this morning. Well, it wasn't quite a bit, but I was 4 trades this morning, all 4 losers, and then we had that nice big drop which I got on. So took one off on that short. So I got in here when we got all this rejection back up to these highs. Managed to ride that all the way down to TP down there. I've still got one running with a break even on. So hopefully if we get another leg down today, I'll run that DAX down. In fact, I might have to put a TP on that. I've got a TP on it. There we go. So TP on that is just down there. Basically in this little support zone. We haven't gone anywhere today. So we opened up here. We had that big drop. They faked back up, popped back down. We're back up again. So we've literally moved down ever so slightly at the minute. Nothing really gone anywhere. Bit of a rubbish day. Couldn't trade anything else this morning, so I'm just still in the trade from this morning, basically. So $500 up at the moment, which is not bad. Afternoon, Profster, David. Great buy on gold. Fritterty Lecker, or whatever that says. I can't really read that one. Frittiert and Lecker. Afternoon. Great buy on gold. Didn't look at gold this morning. We've got to have a look at gold, didn't we? Buy? Oh, you're looking to buy now, yeah. ADR. Yeah, so nice ADR bounce just happening on gold at the moment. Just about to get a reverse alert on M5 on that one. We've got 5 minutes to the open. So gold, basically, we broke back out of this range. We had a 4-week range, well, 4 or 5 week range. We broke out last week and came back in and retested. We've just put a new high in, so we've got nice market structure forming on this at the moment, and we've just put in a double bottom. So nice looking gold buy there. ADR hit. Might have gone that myself actually. I don't trade gold normally. Gold always kills me, so every time I trade gold I tend to lose a fortune. So we'll see. So I'm taking a quick long on gold down there. Just about to get a reversal alert. So it's a lovely double bottom opportunity. Very nice rejection at ADR. Tapped into previous support. Looking for a move back up, basically. So looks pretty good. Afternoon, David. So yeah, nice little long on a gold. Just about to get a reverse alert on M5, potentially. God, that's quite a big position, though. Shouldn't have gone that heavy, I don't think. What's that? $300? Yeah, no. Going to take a bit of that off. I've gotten a bit heavy on that. Just going to reduce half the position. I don't want that much risk on gold. Me and gold do not get on. So I've got 2.25 long on gold. Afternoon, Adrian. So ADRs today, we had loads of ADR hits. The vast majority is yen. So all these yens came off of massive ADR pushes. Oh, God's sake. Massive ADR pushes this morning. 175 ADR. So we had this big, strong rally on the yens. We got reverse alerts on all, but we are just sitting sideways at the moment. So nice potential moves looking to start on the yens. We haven't gone anywhere though. So they're all kind of hovering. We got up to nearly 200 ADR on the Swiss yen. Euro yen's just taken out the liquidity of the highs. Pound yen, nice M pattern formation going in. New Zealand yen the same, and US dollar yen pushed up to 175 and rejecting at the highs. So all these yens are looking pretty good for potential shorts, but we need to wait for some market structure shifts, which the vast majority of them haven't got. So tricky one. Afternoon, Stevie. So yeah, Aussie dollar Swiss. Nice ADR hit on that one as well, and quite a few of the other Swiss franc ones as well. Came off of ADR very, very nicely. 125 ADR there. If you look at these on M5 reversals, they're all pretty good. Decent moves. So yeah, fair few hits today. A lot of volatility in the market. A lot of these bounced off of the highs. Just realised I've got tick strike open. 1 second. Just open that. There we go. Let's turn the volume down a little bit so it's not deafening. Yeah, so quite a few nice ADR hits today. Things like CAD Swiss, big hit off of 125 ADR. Pound CAD pushed up, came straight off 100 ADR. That's coming down quite nicely as well. So lots of hits, basically. Lots of Swiss franc movement today. Yen and Swiss franc is what it's all been about at the moment today. So, but yeah, apart from that, business as usual and everything else. All these yens still pushing up. We got 85s on some of these yens now. But as I say, until we get some signs of weakness coming through on these things, I'm inclined to leave the yen alone at the moment. I'm not going to be shorting these at the minute. Indices. So far, we've got movement to the upside. Let's go to the daily so we can see a bit clearer. We've got nice push down and movement back up to the upside on the DAX. NASDAQ, big push down. Everything else, S&P, Dow, all sort of pushed down. We've got some bullish price action coming in at the moment across the board. We've got 1 minute to the open. So we are still range bound on a lot of this stuff, as you can see. Market's just opened. So directional wise, I'm bearish on everything, but we've had a fairly decent bear move down today. So I'm just going to see what happens at the open and just basically play out the open really and see where we go. So looking for potentially a little bit more of a push down on the open, but we will see where we go. Bears are coming in at the moment. Bearish across the board. Pretty much. So lots of selling. Got that break-even position on the DAX as well. Wow, is that it? Okay, loads of buyers started to flood in. Okay, take it as sell. Big push up there, just taking a sell as we pushed up into those highs. Looking for more downside movement, basically, based off this movement down today. Oops, wrong one. So I've had a nice move down. Looking for a continuation. How's everyone else done this morning? Been busy? Making lots of money, hopefully. Just adding a pending underneath the lows in case we get a breakout to the downside. hopefully. Okay, closing that out. It's not going anywhere. Indecision at the minute. Okay, buyers coming in by the looks of things. It's taking along. Long one more. Let's hope we don't get whipsawed out today, like we did this morning. Okay, so there's our opening range put in. So we'll see where we go at the open. Be nice to get a breakout at the open instead of another sideways mess like we had this morning. Oh, goody goody. Looks like it's going to be the same as this morning. I'm coming to the conclusion that trading the open is now just not happening. I did a little bit of analysis at the weekend on the trades I've done on my funded account. 80% of my losses have been within the first 15 minutes of the open. 80%. Which is a lot, obviously. But equally, the biggest wins have also come at the open. So, although my strike rate is low at the open, the amount of money I've made at the open is way bigger than the losses. So, it's a very difficult equation to sort of get right when you're trying to scalp the opening moves. You've got to change your directional bias very, very, very quickly when we're getting whipped like this. And it's it's a 50-50 shot. It's either going to go up or down. One of them is going to work. I haven't got it right that many times over the last couple of weeks since I've been funded with that account. But when I have got it right, that's where most of the profits come from. So, like this morning, made 2% on that move this morning, but I didn't make it until the opening range had been put in, did I? So, lost 2% at the open. But the profit came after the open. So, seem to be getting an awful lot of whipsaws at the moment at the opens rather than those big rushes we've had in the past. Just those nice trends which just start. We're not really getting them at the minute, are we? Don't seem to have been in the last week anyway. But I'm thinking possibly a little bit too tight on the stops at the opens, which isn't helping. Okay, we've gone into a bit of a rest at the minute across the board. So market structure still looking bullish. A lot of selling coming in on Nvidia. Nvidia is the only thing being traded at the moment. Here we go. Bit more coming in now. Gold's moving nicely. Nice move on gold to the upside. Okay, flipping short. Bought the reversal alerts yesterday. The arrow for retest does not seem to be shown. It'll only show you the arrow for retests if there is a retest arrow. If there is a retest, like that one there, you'll only get that if it comes back and retests, and it only shows on the very last alert. Oh, come on. Really? Afternoon, Neo. So, lovely bearish engulfing at the open. Market structures holding short. So, looking for a breakout to the downside. Wow, this is killing me today. Come on, let's get some directional bias, make your mind up. So just looking at these lows here, potentially we're bouncing off the lows. hopefully we've got enough momentum to just continue that move down this afternoon. Everything's kind of sitting a little range bound at the minute. Jesus. Buyers coming in like crazy. Okay, just flip long on my other account. I'm not going to trade this account for the minute. I'm just going to wait this one to settle down. Basically, I'm flipping long and short on my funded account as the market structure is unfolding and just adding to those positions. Just trying to build up a position in one direction or the other at the minute. The market's really undecided, but the S&P, NAS and the Dow have all broken out now to the upside. So hopefully this is the start of the move. Profster, did you get on that gold trade long? If you're still in here. Uh, 200% on Euro Yen. Quite a bit of absorption going on here at the moment. There's a lot of buying coming in. We're not managing to make new highs. Okay, we've got a lot of rejection going on at the highs. Okay, try and short again up at these highs. Basically just whipsaws at the moment, waiting to get a directional break. Flipping short again. Can't seem to get a directional bias on this thing at all today. So we've rejected the lows. Look at this, that. Push, pull, push. Can't make its mind up. Okay, going long. Out the highs. So we are going long by the looks of things. Dow's gone really nicely out the highs. Everything else is just really indecisive. Well, the Nasdaq's really indecisive. Loads of absorption up at these highs at the minute. Loads of buyers coming in, but we're just not managing to crack the highs. We need to get above that level. Just struggling a little bit at the minute. Gold's just pulling back a little bit. Hopefully we get a retest and bounce off of that one. My stop's underneath this this low on that long. I do not trade this thing because this thing bites me in the backside every time I trade gold. But that does look like a very nice setup on gold at the moment. Been looking for this breakout for ages on gold. We finally got it last week, and it's just retesting these lows at the moment. So good risk reward trade that. Easily come back up to the highs again. Worth a shot, that is, definitely. Okay, pushing out the highs on the NAS by the looks of things now. Trying to. So if we're going long, initial target is obviously going to be these highs. Prior to that, there's very little until we get to 125 ADR today. We've got this high here, which is kind of around about where we had that little pullback on the Friday before the bank holiday, or the last trading day, the Thursday before the bank holiday. So apart from that, we've been in a range prior. So if we're pushing higher today, there's nothing much to stop this until we get up to these highs at the 14,285 level. I'm just going to close that short out. There we go, there's a break. whiz through all the FX pairs in a minute and just have a look at where they've got to this morning. So next main hurdle is going to be higher day today and Globex session high. Okay, probably going to get a little bit of a pullback. We'll leave that to run a little bit. Just want to keep a little bit of an eye on the NAS as we get up to these levels. It's basically this 14,000 level again. We've been this 14,000 level. I seem to be repeating myself continuously. We are always hitting this 14,000. We're basically skirting around 14,000. We have been for days and days and days. We're approaching it again. Big round number. If we get a breakthrough there, obviously we're going to be shooting off to the highs again. But we seem to be skirting around this number so much at the moment. The market really does not know where it wants to go, and it's always sort of being attracted back to this level like a magnet at the moment. So we'll see what kind of price action we get when we hit that level again. DAX is coming up into these highs as well. S&P broken out new high, so that's gone red to green. Let's see if we get some absorption at this level. Almost to the pip. Just trying to crack it again. Just double topped at the 14,000. I'm going to close one. Moving stops to break even. Still got buyers coming through, but getting absorbed quite a bit up here at the minute. Really struggling. Want to see a pop through there, get to there, and another pop through these highs. We're probably going to need a little bit of a pullback before we take a run up and try and crack this level again now, I think. It's a big strong push now. We've had 20 minutes solid movement to the upside. So we're due a pullback. Here it comes. Buyers still coming through. This platform's frozen up by the looks of things. Yeah. Okay, we're just breaking new highs. I'll give you commentary. I've got it on my other platform. We're just breaking new highs. So we are moving up. As you can see, there's a lot of buying coming in. There we go. We're back to life again. Okay, so 14,000's gone. So looking to see if we get a pop out the highs. That's your Globex high and higher day. So just see what kind of reaction we get here. If we can get a nice pop through this level, it's going to bring us straight up into here. So there's going to be limit orders sitting here and here. We need to see if the buyers have got enough strength to absorb those and just slam through today. If we do, just looking for pullback longs by the looks of things today. That's the first level gone. 10 seconds left on this 5-minute candle. There we go, pop straight through the high day. Okay, closing one more. Stop to break even on that one. Just protecting those positions. So pullback starting. Actually, I'm going to close these out. Closing it all out the highs. Just in case we get a bounce off this high. We could basically, you never know what's going to happen today, but basically we just, at the moment we are just range bound. So this is a good short opportunity here. I'm not going to short into this massive move up to the upside, but I'd rather wait for this to pull back. So looking for somewhere around about a 50% pullback on this, and then potentially trying to get into new long positions. It may well just go. It looks like it wants to go again, but just want to bank all that. Had a really choppy start to the session, so we'll see what happens when we get a pullback into the 2050 area. Let's have a quick look at FX and what's going on with the FX. Gold. This is why I don't trade gold. As soon as I enter gold, gold kicks me in the butt. So straight into drawdown as soon as you get in. Always does this, gold. So hopefully we're going to get a reversal retest and push back up somewhere up into these highs up here. So we've got lovely accumulation, and then this propulsion move down to that propulsion gap there and that propulsion gap there that broke out of there. So looking for some kind of move back up into this area initially, and then hopefully break of the highs, and off we go with gold. So the war's getting more intense. Nothing looking good as far as peace talks are concerned, so you would expect gold to accumulate. Hence obviously being a really good spot as a buy there. So FX, we've looked at the ADRs. Obviously there's a load of ADRs hit. Vast majority of these are yen based. Obviously you don't want to be standing in front of these yens at the minute. They are just absolutely flying. There are reversal alerts going off on quite a few of these and retests, but at the moment there's an awful lot of strength of all currencies against the yens. So I'd be very wary about shorting any of these yens at the moment until they're showing some signs of weakness. I'd be looking for much higher time frames really to get some confirmation of reversals starting on these. All of these obviously are extended on the 4 hours. Look at the RSIs. We've now got RSI extensions above 85 on pound yen and the US yen, and we're approaching on the euro and the CAD as well. Swiss yen's back up to 75, so all pushing really hard. We need some yen strength, and there's no signs of yen strength coming through at present. And obviously, what was said this morning is just basically compounded the problem, with Kuroda this morning just saying that we're really weak. There's nothing positive come out of this morning's news to give the yen any kind of push. So I would wait on all of these yens until we get this sort of corrective move again, where we get a decent move on a higher time frame that holds. This was the first attempt we had at getting through. We just about managed to scrape through, and then obviously bounced back off again. So we need to break through these accumulations and get some market structure starting to show that way. So when we break through one of these accumulations, when we pull back into it, that's when you want to look at shorts on these. So RSI extensions on these are not much use at the moment. The yen's just absolutely shot. We're starting to top out on the DAX. Getting a little bit stuck up there. Nasdaq and the S&P are still pushing a little bit. The Dow is also getting stuck in a bit of an accumulation, so we might well see a pullback start here on those. I'm going to wait and try and get in again long when we get some kind of pullback, but I'm not chasing them all the way up there. Higher day, good short opportunity, very tight stop. Wait to get some bearish price action coming through. Potentially a nice little short opportunity up there. So as far as RSIs are concerned, the only things that are not yen related at the moment to look at are the pound Swiss. That's actually just about to come out of extension. So that's, that's gone. We missed that one. Basically, that was this morning, that double top at the ADR. So there's a few sellers coming in. Nasdaq's going sideways just above the 14,000 level. US dollar Swiss, those are the only other things on RSI that are extended at the moment on the 4 hour. A load more buyers just come in. So again, that's nicely embedded at the moment. I'm expecting a pullback on the US dollar after this big strong push. Somewhere round down to this support area at some point this week. But again, it's not really showing signs of stopping at the minute. US dollar Swiss, we've had a funny Swiss. Ooh, what's going on with my... Why do I keep moving over there? We've had a bit of a bit of movement on the Swiss franc, which we haven't had for quite some time. So we had some strength starting to flood in on the Swissy, but that's all kind of being undone again. And that's what we saw on the US dollar Swiss this morning. We had that big move off the Swissy, which is weakened again. So like to see a little bit more movement on the US dollar Swiss to the downside, and all these US dollars basically. I think we've got a good drop coming on these. But again, no signs at the moment of anything really happening. So looking for highs really to get breached, liquidity runs, and then look for shorts. This was a good spot this morning at ADR. Came directly off of ADR, but I mean, actually it was this afternoon, wasn't it? But it's difficult to call when this is going to move. I'd be more inclined to wait for it to get up to the previous highs of last week, and then look for shorts up there. So apart from the yens, which is pretty much everything that's lit up on the RSI dash at the moment, the only things we've got to look at are two Swiss franc pairs. And the Swissy's not really doing a lot at the moment, so nothing really exciting there. Hourlies, it's pretty much the same thing. It's all yens. So unless you're looking to short the yen and being really, really brave, again, another very difficult time for FX. It's not really very easy to spot anything that's worth getting into at the moment. All these euros, Euro odd isn't looking too bad at the moment. Euro Swiss, I've got one short on Euro Swiss still. I'm just actually stop out on that, did I? I'm just putting a stop just above the highs there on this Euro Swiss. Let me just draw that in. So all these euros are looking pretty good. So just watching what's going on with the indices. We've gone into an accumulation on the indices at the moment, up at the highs. There's still a lot of buyers coming in, but we don't seem to be pushing very high. So we're not getting that pullback at the minute. So Euro Swiss and all these euro pairs, they're all pushing up basically into the 24.72 area. A lot of them are. Or pushing up towards support or resistance areas. Resistance areas on the euros. So all looking good for shorts on the euros. Potentially another area there where we should be looking to get in short on the euro pound. Euro yen obviously is another kettle of fish. Euro New Zealand pulled up into the highs. So we've got another high there as well. So potentially if we are going to get another leg up, that's where we'd be looking. So somewhere in this area is where I'll be looking for short opportunities on these euros. The Euro Swiss obviously I got into last week. Euro US dollar is still pushing down at the minute. If we get some US dollar weakness, that will give this an opportunity to come back up. If we can get back up into this area, wait for the 24 to come down and be looking for shorts on that as well. So all these euros are looking pretty good for short opportunities at the minute, but still very, 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 very sideways. See, it's just so difficult to trade anything FX at the minute. You're either going like that and it's uncontrollable and you don't get any chance to get back in on pullbacks, or everything's just sideways. Just very, very hard to spot entries, and everything that we're getting is very, very slow in movement. We're getting these long accumulation phases and then big pushes. And the big pushes, basically, you've got to be ready to jump in on these and ride them. If you start trying to get into them once they've gone, they're not giving you any pullback opportunities. So the market structure on these euros is literally fast collapse, sit sideways for a couple of days, big collapse, sit sideways for a bit. So at the moment, we've had a big long sideways. We're just pushing back up out of these highs. So I'll be looking for these to be liquidity runs for another leg down. So shorts on all the euros, but not really big enough moves. Not big enough moves out of these ranges at the moment to really give any identification as to when this is going to start to happen. So pending orders under the lows, really, I think is the best thing to do on these. So wait for these to break. Obviously, you can pick lower time frames. Pretty much going to be the same thing. M15 reversal alert. So you can get in on the reversal alert on M15, or you can wait for the break of the range and look for short opportunities on all of these. Best things at the moment to short euro and the pound. Apart from that, everything else is a little bit of a mystery. Sideways. Wow. Here these buyers coming in at the moment. Should have held those longs. How has the MRA EA traded the yen pairs recently? I shouldn't imagine very well. I haven't been position trading. It's too volatile with the war at the moment. But if you'd have been yen, yeah, I mean you're in a squeeze at the moment on anything yen. Obviously, there have been outs. But you wouldn't be able to get out on these moves fully. They're sort of drawdown control opportunities, really. That's all you get. It's not enough. You're just not getting enough pullbacks on these at the moment. The yen is absolutely shot. Got to step in and do something about it at some point soon, but difficult to tell when. Let's just quickly go back to what's going on with the NAS. Blimey. Big push out. So we're just running into this balance area at the moment on the Nasdaq. Next stop up there. So looking for a pullback down into here somewhere, trying to get a long opportunity, but at the minute it doesn't want to pull back, does it? Wow, look at that. 1 minute chart. Literally haven't touched that moving average. Haven't got anywhere near the 20 on the 1 minute chart. This thing's like a rocket ship today. Oh, gold. Gold, gold, gold. This is why I don't trade it. Literally, as soon as I hit the button on gold in any direction, it doesn't matter whether I'm long, I'm short. If I said it's going to go sideways, it wouldn't do what I tell it to do. Literally, I identified many, many, many years ago that me and gold, every time I get trade gold, I lose all of my money. So what do? Hit the button to go long on gold. What does it do? Tanks. Couldn't make it up. Does still look like a good looking long though, I have to say. Just because I'm on it, obviously it's not going to do what we want it to do. Okay, we've got a pullback starting on the NAS. What are these flashing green and red squares? This is tick strike. So this is showing you what's going on in the futures markets, basically. So people are buying Netflix, Facebook. Dow is selling off. Apple selling off a little bit. It's almost like I'm not in control, isn't it? Yeah. There you go. Gold, $450 down the pan because I hit the button. Every time. Let this be a lesson to you. Whenever I say don't trade something because you know you lose money on it and you trade it again, you've just witnessed it there first. God, I'm taking that off my charts totally. The problem with gold is leverage. It moves too fast and it's too volatile. Everybody wants to trade gold because you can make a load of money out of it. But as you just seen, I lost $450 in 15 minutes there. Very, 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 very quick to lose money on gold. When it decides to go in one direction, it goes hard. Always does that to me. Still looks quite good though. I do like it. I just can't trade it with a decent stop. Just don't get on with gold. Nasdaq, we are just DAX. We're just coming back up into these highs again. Everything's starting to show signs of weakness up at the highs. Still not had a red candle on the Nasdaq since that push. Why did I get out there? I'm in a yen trade for more than a month. Probably never touch anything with yen for a very long time. What a trash. Yeah. The problem, you can't say you can't trade something for a while because it's hit you once. If something hits you over and over again, you continuously lose money on it, like me and gold. Then don't trade it anymore. But yen is just squeezing at the moment because of the current situation. I mean, it's obviously the yen is devalued at the moment anyway, but it's the Ukraine crisis which has really tipped it over the edge. And this is the problem. If you say you don't want to trade yen anymore, you'll miss all the good setups on the yen. And everything that you want it to do, it will do after you say you're never going to trade it again. It will go back to normal, and yen will be a normal instrument to trade. Everybody said that about the Swiss franc when the Swiss franc cap was removed and it all went completely crazy. Everyone said, I'm never going to trade the Swissy again, never going to trade the Swissy again. I make my best money out of the Swissy because it's really reliable. It moves very, very well. And the yen usually does that as well. The problem is the yen isn't being used as a safe haven currency at the moment, and that's really hurting it. The money's not flowing into the yen as it normally does in times of crisis, and it's really stuffing it. And I think that's what's caused this sort of compounded effect that we're seeing at the moment is Ukraine war kicks off. Yeah, we expect money to flood into yen. It's just done nothing but leave it since that happened. So it's no one could have predicted this or seen this because completely the opposite is normally what happens. We've just got this turned completely on its head at the moment. It will normalise, but when it will normalise, difficult to tell. There's got to be some intervention at some point from the Bank of Japan. Otherwise, it's just going to get to the point where they're not going to be able to trade. So there will be some intervention coming, and I was expecting it to start here. That's more than enough, but still off to the races at the minute. So crazy times we're living in at the moment. We're just starting to put in some weakness on the Nasdaq. So they're potentially painting or trying to paint our first down candle. Look at this, absolutely to the moon, isn't it? Buyers still coming in. DAX showing signs of weakening a little up here as well. I hear you, but I've had it with this thing. Even aggressive drawdown control is not working. No, the trouble with aggressive drawdown control. Well, I say it's the trouble with it. It obviously only works if you have a profit take, which typically you will. By the time you get to the point of needing to do aggressive drawdown control on something like the US dollar yen, you're enacting aggressive drawdown control after you've been bedded on the 4 hour, like here, and you tend to get a profit take move. The problem is at the moment, this is not speculative buying, therefore there's no profit taking. This is money flooding out of the yen. It's not speculative buying, it's just weakness. Position trading works when you've got speculative buyers and sellers in the marketplace. At the moment, the lot of this movement is not speculative. It's just transactional, and they're not taking profits. They're literally just scaling out of the currency and moving it into different currencies. Just about to get a reversal alert on the hourly on the NAS. I'm still waiting for this pullback. Look at this. It's still not pulling back. Looks like it wants to go for highs again. Incredible move. Still buying. Oops. Just put a buy stop above these highs. We're going to a bit of an accumulation on the 1 minute chart here. So we're getting a little bit of a catch up with the moving averages. I still think we probably want to pull back and possibly pull back quite considerably on this. But if this is just going to continue to fly, I'm going to jump in on the long side. Okay, got a little bit of selling starting to show now. So I'm just straddling this accumulation at the minute. Looks like it wants to go long again, potentially. Still loads of buyers coming. I can't believe how many buyers are coming in at the minute. All the way up at these highs here. If they're going to keep buying though, I shall jump on board with them. As usual, as soon as I buy. So that might be the last double top there, potentially. Because of the yen, I'm not taking anything counter trend anymore. If the signal doesn't match the trend direction, I'm not taking them anymore. It really made me think about mean reversion. Yeah, mean reversion is great in 80% of the time when the market isn't trending. Obviously, because it goes sideways 80% of the time. And when the market is trending, it needs to pull back. But this is the yen is a oops. The yen is not a normal situation. The yen, and nothing is normal at the moment. As I say, this is why I'm trading indices at the minute and scalping low time frames. The market is completely confused as to what to do with this Ukraine situation, the realignment of supply of power. It's just everything is changed, and the normal market movements we would expect to happen are just not happening. We've also got inflation going through the roof worldwide. We're coming out the back of a pandemic where the economic impact is completely changed the way we do business, the way we work. Everything's changed in the last 2 to 3 years. It's that horrible unprecedented word. We hate that word, unprecedented, because unprecedented means chaos. And you have no clue what anything is going to do. So you've got to realign yourself with basically trying to grab what you can and run away with it as fast as you can at the moment. But yeah, trend base. I mean, this is the trouble with trend trading. Trouble with trend trading, if you can say that 10 times fast. The trouble with trends... I can't say it 10 times fast. The trouble with trend trading is when you identify you're in a trend, normally you go, we're in a trend. I'm going to start trading with a trend. That's the point when we go into a range and do a reversal. So this is why most people like to mean revert trade, because mean reversion works very, very well in a trend. It also works very, very well in a range. Mean reversion is a much safer way of trading, regardless of what the market is doing. The only time it won't work is if you get something unprecedented like that. And there's nothing you can do about it. It's horrible to be in, but... Okay, we're certainly slowing down up here. We just had our first red candle. So that was our opening push, pullback, push. And that's when we decided to go long. And that is our first down candle we've had since we pushed that high. What a move. Caught half of it. Still look like he wants to go though. Just covering this with a short just in case. But we still got buyers coming in, but the buyers are all being absorbed now by these sellers. So we are starting to see quite a bit of absorption up at the highs. Saying that it's just starting to rally again. Broken out new highs. That might have been the final push. Gone a little bit quiet now. God, I feel exhausted after watching that, didn't you? Euro US dollar is coming down fairly hard. So is the pound US dollar. US dollar Swiss pushing. So it looks like we've got a bit of a rally on the US dollar at the minute. US dollar CAD is pushing. US dollar yen's trying to make new highs on the day. Okay, so we're going to get reversal drawn here now. So this will get dragged up to there. We just made a new high after a down candle. So we're getting to the point where we are starting to stall. Market's starting to slow down. There we go. So if this is sort of an accumulation before the drop, I'm going to look to get in short at the highs here. Trouble is, I'm not quite sure why we would be turning here, apart from we're just exhausted. We need a pullback. But we are certainly starting to get some weakness starting to show now up at these highs. Just going to close that out with a tiny little loss. Okay, going to go short one. But I'm going to reduce the loss down on this. I'm not going to take a full risk on it. So there's a little bit of a premature entry short up here. We haven't actually got a bearish engulfing or any sort of price action up here that is saying to go short yet. So it's a little bit of a predictive one. Really want to see a reversal alert up here to give us a little bit of confirmation that we are starting to see some selling coming in. It does certainly look like it though. We are completely sideways now. But obviously the moving averages are also catching up, which could propel it up for another leg. But I can't see this wanting to do another leg after that. It needs a pullback, doesn't it? It needs to breathe. All the institutions and the big players that have pushed this up here today have done it in one leg. Normally we'd see this executed in multiple legs. So if there is any more buying to be done today, they're going to want to get a better price than this. They're not going to want to buy at the highs, usually, but seems to be more buying coming in. Jeez, look at it. Wow. Okay, got double top. Broken. Blimey, we're off again. stopped out. It's only a small loss though, reduced risk on that one. Crikey. Well, I'm not going to chase this up at the highs up here. This isn't a pullback. That's just a candle. No idea what is driving this market today. I'm just scanning through the news, just seeing if there's any news that's potentially causing this massive buying flurry, but I can't see anything. I'm just going to trail some sell positions up here. If you look at this on the daily, we've obviously gone red to green. We're approaching ADR now, up at the highs. When we get to ADR, we're going to be tapping into this area of rejection. So this is where we've tried to trade previous up here. We've rejected it now 3 days on the trot. So if we get up to ADR today, this is where I would expect us to start seeing some selling coming through. So we've potentially got a little bit more movement up to ADR, which isn't far away now. We're 58 pips away from ADR. So I'm going to start trailing some sell positions. With a view to getting rejected up at the highs. DAX is approaching yesterday's high. Blimey, look at this. Okay, so that's a really good example of that moving average catch up that I keep talking about. So as price pushes up away from moving average, it either pulls back into the moving averages and bounces, or as the moving average comes up, it sits and accumulates and waits for the moving average to catch it before springboarding it higher. So that's a good example there. Remember I said the 20 didn't catch it all the way up there, and then it grabs the 20 and flies. So gold's invalidated that buy order. Totally smashed it. So 125 ADR now, just tapping down into this support resistance area. So 1949, basically 1950 round number on gold. It's just been approached. Potentially we could get a nice bounce off of that. Aussie dollar Swiss back up at ADR. Aussie dollar yen going for 200. What a whippy day, look. Awful across everything. Just entering a second sell. Stud the low of this wick. So Euro Swiss has obviously pushed up now today. We've taken out this liquidity here. Push back down again. Everybody, when they saw it break down below these lows, would have entered short. So they've pushed back up again. Potentially they may come back up and take out that level again and then drop from there. So I'm just entering a short to see if we can just get another position gathered in on the way back down, and then ultimately looking for this to drop, this Euro Swiss. So I've got double bottom there, still going. Euro pound double topped. Pound Swiss, nice reversal. Just taking out the highs of the last 3 days. Push back down. Need to get a break down below there. Next leg down on the pound. Pound yen, triple top. Horrible day. Look at it. It's just real whipsaw all over the place across the Forex markets today. Doesn't matter which way you enter today, you're out. This thing's been nasty today. Very nasty. Look at that. Everybody piled in short. Boom. Very difficult day. Just taking out the highs. Yesterday's high on US dollar CAD. Nasty. Nasty, nasty, nasty. Okay, got some sellers starting to come in on the Dow. Short Euro Swiss. Yeah, I've got Euro Swiss short on as well at the moment. down here. We got pushed up. So I had 2 shorts on this. I got stopped out on one this morning at ADR. I got stopped out on one of the positions. The second one I've still got running. If it pushes up any more though, we're not going to get out until somewhere up here. So I'm not gonna let it ride all the way up there. Sellers coming in. Let's see if we can get this big pullback started now. So looking for basically pullback to 14,000 basically. So come back down, retest 14,000 if we can. Strength of this thing though today, not sure it's going to actually manage to get down there. Still not have one negative candle on M15. Okay, so it's nice selling action starting to come in. It's going to go short. See if we can get a pullback. So there is still room to the upside on this, lots of it, potentially. Are running into an area of accumulation here. So if we don't manage to get reversed off of this, we should at least hopefully pull back to start a new leg up to these highs. So it's a counter trend trade, just looking for a quick short. Potentially as deep as there, but may not get that far. Watching this 141 level as well. A lot of buying and selling there. And the buyers won out, so there's going to be a lot of buyers in there looking to add to their positions. We've just had Russia's Medvedev. NATO's reinforcement at Russia's borders is no longer a figure of speech. Moscow should be prepared for a possible aggressive action. So Russia basically shouting off at the fact that we're reinforcing the borders of Ukraine. They see that as a sign of aggression. Decent amount of selling starting to come in there, but not being sustained at the minute. Okay, so potentially bouncing back off the 20. So this could be just a flag move. See what happens over here. See if we get some more sellers starting to come in. So I could see a profit-taking run start now. Decent downside move for 5 or 10 minutes. So watching these highs. So looking for basically two-leg pullback to reverse. Don't want to see these highs getting invalidated. That's the wrong stop. It's that one. Okay, so nice reversal started on the Dow, just broken these lows. So definitely a little bit more selling pressure starting to show through across the markets now. the DAX has just put in a reversal, bearish engulfing. So just watching these on all these indices now. Any accumulations, so the support rectangle obviously gets drawn off of any opposite price movement. So looking to see what type of reaction we get around these areas, see if we get these buyers defending these zones or whether we can break through these. If we can break through these, should get a decent pullback. But there's an awful lot of buyers there, and as you can see, not a lot of sellers today. Reversal alert triggered now on the Dow. 15 seconds left on this candle, and we should hopefully get another little leg down. So taking a second short, just about to get gathered up into a third as well. Okay, so watching this 14,100 level. Let's see what type of reaction we get down here. Potentially. So we're going to start to get a bounce. Not even getting down there at the moment. A few buyers starting to come in now. Wow, really gone slow now. Okay, so DAX is basically We've got 15 minutes downward movement on the DAX. We're just coming down into potential support here. We're finding a little bit of support on the NAS in this zone, although we haven't even got down to previous support yet. S&P, we've literally had one down candle. The Dow is just pulling back and retesting. So we are stalling up here. So we're either going to get one or two things happen. We're either going to accumulate and start a new leg, or we're just going to retest and drop. So at the moment I'm sitting on the short side, obviously. I'm just reducing the risk down on these positions because I don't want to get caught the wrong side of this again today. Looking better. We're just not getting a lot of sellers moving in at the minute. No real urgency to push this market back down again today. Looking on the dailies on them, obviously they're all shy of where we've previously stalled. So we are making a new lower high where we are at the moment on the Dow. S&P has tapped straight up into support from middle of last week. Nasdaq hasn't got anywhere near it yet, which is why I'm expecting this potentially to pull back and try and push again. But and the Dow, we've pretty much the DAX, we've pretty much double topped. So all starting to slow down at the highs at the minute. We'll see where we go in the next sort of 5 or 10 minutes, but hopefully starting to pull back. So I'm just trying to adjust some stops. I can't quite grab them. Okay. Aggressive buying coming back in again. So looking for a pullback, but not break that high. If we're going to form an M pattern for a reversal. Looking like it's buying though, doesn't it? Again. This will be my last trade of the day if this one fails. Not had a good day today. Mind you, I said that this morning, didn't I? Managed to catch the high of the day, high of the Globex session, and trade that all the way back down today. So fingers crossed. Same situation playing out here. Catch the high of the day and trade it back down to 14,000. But if we invalidate those highs, I don't think I'm going to get the choice. Oh, Christ. Just stopped out my Nasdaq positions. My NAS, I had the stops here on my other. I had too many contracts short, so I was a bit tighter on my stop on the other platform. Okay, coming up to double top. So 1.5 hours into the New York session, 70% chance of that being higher day. So just watching this high. Putting another sell on. Adding to a loser here, but playing off the fact that this is going to be a double top. If that rejects, that may well reject pretty fast. So this is either going to come down quickly or I'm just going to get stopped out on that position I've just taken with the tiny loss. Very high risk reward. Afternoon, Dinesh. US dollar Swiss just made new highs. Oh, wrong one. New high of the day, US dollar Swiss. Still pushing. US dollar yen has now hit 200% ADR. Lots of 200s on these yens today. If you do want to get in short on these yens from a from a today, trading short today, 200% ADR. If you put a 25% ADR stop on your positions or 50% ADR stop on your positions, you've got a very high risk reward on these, because if these things come down half an ADR plus, you're going to make some good money on them. But you want to wait for signs of weakness to start showing on these. Reversal alert on the Swiss yen. Euro yen accumulating, reversal alert at 200% ADR. US dollar yen is obviously just pushed up. New Zealand's not going anywhere. Pound yen just made new highs, literally just taken out that high. So entry under there. Again, just not really going anywhere, are we? We're just holding pattern. This is what the market's doing at the moment. Big strong pushes, holding pattern for hours, days. Then suddenly big strong move in one direction or the other. Difficulty we've got this week obviously is there's no news catalysts, so we can't really time when we're going to get these moves because we've got no news to time with at the moment. So you just got to hope you're in it at the right time, really. Okay, so that high's held at the moment. So looking for a break of this low. Break of that low to confirm. Then we need to see what happens when we get down to 14,100. The way this is going at the moment, this could take a while. Okay, going nowhere at the minute. DAX is starting to come down a little bit more. We just about made a new low there. And another low there. Really want to see this break, but nothing really seems particularly bearish at the minute. Nasdaq's pushed higher. I'm out. Nope, can't get this right today, so I'm dumping it there. I'm not going to put any more into this. Down $800 today on the funded account, so can't really time this right today. Want to fade this really badly. Bearish on the market. Not sure why this is moving so hard today. It's very difficult to understand why we're getting so much buying coming through today, but waiting for the fade. I think what I might do is just wait and move up to M5 and sort of just go with sell stops on a higher time frame, because I've got a feeling we're coming back down to retest this level. So I want to catch it when it does, but at the moment I'm trading M1. I'm scaling in far too quick, so I'm just getting stung by these fast moves to the upside. See, nice big push there. That's just a liquidity run above the highs. Look, so I'm just going to take a couple of positions on the funded account short. So yeah, I'm looking to fade this basically today, back down to 14,000 and see what happens when we get down to there. We got all this massive push here where we've not really had any pullback on it whatsoever. So just looking for a fade basically, try and get into a short and then add to it as we come down, which is basically what I've been doing. But at the moment we are very, very, very bullish, obviously, as you can see. But I think this is due a drop. They're all due a drop. They've all pushed very, very, very hard. DAX is starting to show the way. So is the Dow. S&P and the NAS are kind of lagging at the moment, but we are just running out of steam up here. We are starting to see some decent selling price action coming in now. So I'm going to add a few as we come down. So breaking these lows. So break of the low and a break of the low. Add those three positions in and then look to target back down 14,000 level. Which is basically what we did this morning. Well, what I did this morning. So rode it up, got out too soon, tried to fade it too early, and then caught the fade at the highs this morning on the DAX. And then rode all the way back down to the lows again. So looking to do the same thing. Just need to get some momentum to the downside started. So, but I think I'm going to play it on a higher time frame basically. Sticking on M5. So less price action, less chance of getting chopped about. Today here in Brazil, we have big volatility. Markets are nervous. Long positions are unstable. Yeah, long positions are certainly the way forward today. Well, they were the way forward at the open. If only we'd have known at the open we were going to get a move like that. Otherwise, I wouldn't have got out there. But hey, got scared out of that position as well. Not that I would have made an awful lot on that one, but never mind. Tricky day today. So I'm just going to let that short play out and see if I can get some movement to the downside off the back of that. That's going to be, for me, higher day. If that doesn't hold, got it wrong in the second half, basically. So just going to have to sit and take that one, unfortunately. So we'll be back tomorrow morning. Keep your eyes on these yens. I still think we've got a decent opportunity for shorts on these. I might try and take a short on one of these yens on the funded account. Aussie dollar yen has already started to go. CAD yen's just about to get a reversal. Swiss yen, we've already had one. Euro yen, we've already had one. That's accumulating at the moment, though. So that's not a bad short with a sell under there. Might leave that one in place, actually. Little short position, Euro yen. Euro, I think, is coming down. A little bit of strength in there at the moment. Euro Swiss is pushing up again towards the highs. But all these yens are really, really stuck up at the highs at the moment. We are starting to stall out, as you'd expect, after hitting 200%, 175%, etc. across the board. So good short opportunities on these. Make sure, obviously, you're keeping your stops fairly tight. Reversal alerts on them. M5 is probably, well, always with ADR reversals, M5 is where you want to be, but they look pretty similar to the M15 reversals at the moment. So yeah, get those and see if you can play those down for nice fades today. That's really the only other opportunities out there, or any other Euro shorts you can find. But apart from that, slim pickings today, unless you're on the indices and you manage to hold them. But that's tough, holding that. Look at it. It looks really easy to hold on M5. No reason to get out on M5 until there. This is danger of trading M1. Obviously, you're getting a lot faster on M1. You get more opportunities to trade, but you get scared out a lot more by price action. So, still pushing up again. Just about to see if we might take out these highs again. Going to reduce the risk down on that. Those highs, I've only got the one position on at the moment. So that's all I'm going to play down this afternoon. If that doesn't hold, I'm not in anymore this afternoon. So Euro yen, I'm going to try a short on that when we get a breakdown. So stop changing the long chart. So under these M15 lows, so as we've started to reverse on M15, we've jumped into this support, bounced out of it. So if we have another crack at that support, that will probably fail, and then we'll start to get moved down and get the reversal alert. So I'm going to go with a sell underneath those lows there, see if we can get a move to the downside on the Euro yen as well. If the yen is going to power up, and this might take until tomorrow to kick in, but if it does power up, that's basically where I think we're going to get the biggest drop on the euro or the pound pairs. So news-wise coming up, we haven't got anything yen-based that's really going to move this. So tomorrow we've got CAD CPI in the afternoon, and we've got then tomorrow evening, basically next day really, we've got New Zealand CPI. So the only thing we've got is the CAD tomorrow. So for the Asian session, there's nothing. So normal price action. So fingers crossed with these yen pairs, we're seeing the final flurries, which is the similar move that we had previously on these before we started that drop. So we had that big flurry. Remember, that was a 200% ADR day across the board on all the yen pairs, and then we had that drop. The entire week we dropped and reversed in 2 to 3 days. So potentially looking for that to be a similar sort of move today, and then getting decent drop. But where we're going to drop down to, difficult to say. But somewhere around the 125, 800 level is, I suspect, where we'll probably go on that one. Just about to get stopped out on that sell position. Again, what a nightmare. Couldn't have got it any more wrong today. Never mind, we have days like this. Diamond, so use M1 for the entry and then manage it on M5. I would probably enter on M5. I wouldn't get in on M1 on this anymore. It's just a nightmare today. It's long as you like, but longs are going to stop at some point. This is going to end. I'm just trying to catch it. When I catch it short, I'll probably add in sort of 5, 6, 7 positions short when this thing starts to go. But I can't get in at the moment. So I only want to get in on M5 really. M1's just chopping me to pieces at the moment. It's too quick today. It's too strong. But equally, when you get that selling pressure start, that selling pressure could be equally as strong, and probably will be. We'll get a nice big bearish engulfing going. And then it could drop just as fast as it's come up. But I don't want to get in on M1 because you're going to get too many signals. Yeah. And it's not moving far enough down, so want to get some confirmation. So M5. Probably move over to M5 a little bit late today, haven't we? Well, I have anyway, but never mind. Okay, I'll leave it there today. Anything else you need, let me know. I'll be in the Telegram group. Otherwise, I'll be back tomorrow morning at 7:50. We'll have a look at the Frankfurt session. See if we can scalp something out of Frankfurt. Yeah, be careful this afternoon with these yens. So don't get too overloaded on the yens. Take one or two if you want to. Personally, I'm just going to go with the Euro Yen and try and trade that. We've got some nice rejections starting up at the highs now. So good opportunity, I think, for a fade on these yen pairs. But not sure how far they're going to get. So just watch support and resistance levels when we get down to them. Probably that's where you want to start taking your profits, but they're all looking very exhausted now at the top. So okay guys, have a good one. Hopefully have a good afternoon and make some money, and hopefully I will see you tomorrow morning 7:50. We'll trade the Frankfurt session. Have a good afternoon.